nigga this, nigga that. Oh shit, this nigga's back.
What it do, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of that Repent or Die podcast. For those that don't know who am I am Junes, the original, the NBIC, the next Bantu in charge. Want to give all praises and glory to the heavenly ones, for they are worthy to be praised. I want to give a shout out to all you guys for all your support, tuning in, feedback, positive, negative. It's because of you guys. You are allowing me to continue to keep my foot on you heathens, you he-goes, and the newly installed heathenites next. Are you dumb or are you dumb? Yes, yes, yes. Round of applause for that. hmm And we got another one today, man. Thought provoking topic and discussion that I know a lot of people, um, probably had questions about. And for those that don't know what's going on, but let me give you the title before I dive into it. Is going to college overrated or underrated within the black community? That's the topic in discussion today. But first, before I do that, I want to let you guys know that yesterday, the seventh day, Saturday, December, I had a profound class lesson. Shout out to the 300 and plus individuals that tuned in. And the discussion for that was the prosperity gospel doctrine. And we was here to expose it. And I break it down, giving you guys the origin, where it comes from, who are these people, and how it does not associate within the word, right? So you guys can tune into that, watch it. Very informative. You won't be disappointed. I promise you, you won't. Right? But we're gonna also bring forth today's news. Let me pull this up for you guys because the news is out here being crazy. Um, a young boy, man. I seen him on Instagram, man. Shout out to the Wiz. He was knocking on people's doors and saying Merry Christmas and I like how you do this and do that. He lost his mom's. His mom's was 33 years old. She died unexpectedly. For those that don't know, now you know. Um, it's crazy. And I'm just looking at the news right here. Family of four found dead in apparent murder suicide by a New York police sergeant, who's a European, by the way. A husband and wife and their two sons, ages 10 and 12, were found dead in the suburbs, New York home Saturday, and what authorities described as a murder suicide by a police sergeant. Yeah, these are the things that we dealing with, guys. Right? Um, Hold on, I'm gonna give you another one. Um, Hold on, let me pull this up. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up. So a lot of craziness going on within New York, man. Tragedy strikes. 23-year-old panhandler stabbed to death. Right? These are the things that's going on. Um, Man fatally shot by MTA cop was parolee with 12 prior arrests. These are things that's taking place in New York. Right? Even that little boy, man, happened, little homie was from New York. You understand? Um, I say that to say all of this that ain't no sunshine where we from. Mm. Only darkness every day. Mm. Ain't no sunshine where we from, 'cause where we from, homie, you can be gunned anytime, 'cause the streets don't play. Rest in peace to the great DMX, man. And you know, Sunshine, man, the streets is still shady, grimy, groomy. You understand? Any given Sunday, your life can be taken, right? But it's like we living on a one way, on a speedway, living in the fast lane and don't even have our seatbelts on. We over here on the porch, ready to jump off the porch and landing on our knees, landing into a prison cell, landing into a grave site. These are the things that's going on within us. This is the reason why I come out with these podcasts and I talk my talk, because information and knowledge and understanding of who we are, why we going through this is very important, especially in the times that we are in, right? But without further ado, man, let's have this conversation, man. Is college overrated or underrated? Conversation that needs to have within the black community. Now, somebody asked me that question and said, yo, do you believe going to college is important? Or do you feel like, you know, going to college is a scheme, it's a scam? And my answer to the brother was quite simple. It depends on what you're going to college for. If you're going to college to be a doctor, a lawyer, even a teacher to a certain extent, then a college degree is very important, it's very needed, right? You need to understand law, how you gonna represent a people and you don't know nothing. Especially coming from the black community, the last thing that they ever gonna teach the black and brown is how to hold it down when we stand face to face with the governor that wears a black gown, you hear me? A judge, should I say, right? So going to school depends on what you going there for, right? To be a doctor, you need to know every aspect of the body, the mind, how to do operations, how to, you know what I'm saying, how to cut the right vessel so this person won't bleed out. You know, it's a lot of things that you gotta go to school for. But if you thinking that you about to go to college to get a PhD in liberal arts or a master's in liberal arts to be a supervisor at Walmart, then fam, college is not for that. And college is also not for the individuals who's mentally not prepared to take on the responsibilities that come with college. College, yeah, is you have, more freedom, right? You're not being micromanaged, but at the same time, you also required to hand in a lot of work. You gotta put in a lot of work. You gotta do the necessary things that's needed. You feel me? You gotta put in that necessary things that's needed in order for brothers and sisters to be better, should I say, and have understanding and get the knowledge and doing the job, doing the work. So you gotta mentally be fit for college. You gotta know what you're going to college for. If you're going to college just to go to college just so you can say I'm in college, or you're going in there so you can participate in spring break and do all of the things that you seen we was doing when we was in college, and you see it on MTV and BET. I don't know if they still show these things, but if that's what you're going to school for, if you're going there to have fun, then you're wasting time. Especially if you go into these institutions where you have to pay bread. You feel me? Financial aid, they're like, oh, yeah, don't worry, we'll take care of that. Let them do that. But if you got to take a loan to go to school, yeah, you better take it serious. But college is not for everybody. Let's just keep it 100. College is not for everybody. Me as a father, I don't teach my children, or I don't force this, you better go to college. Because I know a lot of people that went to college, got college degrees, and not even fulfilling the dream of the degree that they went to college for, right? I know a lot of people that got masters and was supervisors at retail stores, right? Was branch managers at supermarkets, right? Where these individuals spend countless time, money, and school to come to get a measly, you know, 65,000 a year, 80,000 a year gig, and it's really not even worth it because yeah, you're making 80,000, but you gotta pay back these loans, and these loans, especially with this so-called inflation, this interest rates is crazy. And now that we're living in a credit society, you can't even afford to be like, man, I ain't paying that, because you don't want to have a bad credit, because having bad credit rejects you from getting money from the bank, rejects you from partnership with individuals. Bad credit can also stop you, hinder you from getting jobs. I know a job when I was younger. They asked me what was my credit score. And I'm like, what the heck does a credit score got to do with me applying for this job? But it all makes sense now, because you're going to be needed to make purchases. You might have to, they might need you to make a purchase and buy something big for the business, or they trying to help you get yourself together, but you got to have good credit. In order to, you gotta have good credit in order to work with these people, make purchases. Yeah, these things is crazy. You feel me? But college is never important, never needed. The richest people in the world never went to college. I'm talking about the billionaires. I'm not talking about those that's, sitting on millions. I'm talking about the billionaires. Outside of sports athletes, how many rich millionaires do you know that actually went to college? I know a lot of college degree individuals who thousandaires who got 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, right? But the majority of your resources and your finances is not going to come going to college. Now, even now, the whole conversation that's brewing right now on social media is the fact that now jobs are no longer requiring brothers and sisters to have so-called bachelors and stuff like that, where they're looking for people with experience, right? And people in the comments, shout out to the Wiz, she brought it up. She said she was reading the comments where individuals are, they're in an outrage. It's like, wow, so you wait for black people to be the most successful graduates in America. Now you're saying that having a degree is not important, right? When me growing up, when that was the notion and that was the conversation, you have to get a degree, right? And I told my mother that, and I sat down with the Wiz and I told her that. I said, listen, man, we was only following what our parents did, right? My mom's came to this new world called America, and she didn't have nobody. She didn't speak no English. She literally had to get it on the grind. Matter of fact, my mother grind so hard, got my father to come to America, right? After my father came, out comes me, right? Then comes my older brother that was already born out in the other land. Comes here, right? My mom did everything to buy a house and went to school, did the whole shebang, and now she sits back like, yo, school is the route to go. But that was then. And we follow suit. Me and my brothers, we follow suit. We went to school. We went down that path, got a degree. But that hard work that we put into school didn't add up to the pay that we supposedly thought we was going to receive. You feel me? So now the mentality is college really necessary? Especially we living in the times where you can honestly make money by just showing your face on TV, showing your face on the computer, showing your face on the phone. People is investing into stock. Yeah, a lot of people is investing to these things that we didn't have no access to. There's a lot of other hustles and schemes that I prefer not to speak on these social media platforms and on my podcast, because we don't want these people to see, oh, that's what they're doing, and then do something that's gonna hinder us from being entrepreneurs. You feel me? So if you was to ask me, is college important? Like I said before, it all depends on what you're going to college for. But the overall aspect behind it is the biggest scheme ever. It's not important. Matter of fact, I know people, and listen, I don't want children thinking that you should not go to school, but I'm just saying, I know a lot of people that doesn't have even a high school diploma that are very successful. Let me tell you something about how this world is. America is a capitalistic society. That this is a corporation. This is a business. If you understand the business and you got a formula, you don't need a college degree to achieve financial freedom, financial wealth, prosperity, whatever. You can achieve that by just knowing the right people. Remember, the saying goes, it's not what you know, but who you know. If you know the individuals that can hold you down and say, yo, bro, come through, meet up with my man does such and such, he's gonna show you how to do such and such, take this such and such so your pockets can be fat like such and such. You feel me? Yeah. And shout out to the internet, shout out to social media, shout out to a lot of things now that we, the generation after our parents, even the generation after us, they are now having access to quick money schemes, easy hustles, investing into this, investing into that. One thing I always told you, see, when I was out in the streets hustling, I remember my connect had to sit down. See, I grew up where, you know what I'm saying, you knew the connect. You know, what you see in the movies is real life, right? And my connect said to me, he said, yo, listen, you can re-up as much as you want. I don't mind supplying you with the re-up. But if you're not hustling for a purpose, right? It's gonna be like a hamster in the wheel. It's just gonna be going round and round and round. You gotta find a purpose. You gotta do this and invest into something else. You can't think that you're gonna be hustling and doing and selling narcotics for the rest of your life. This is what my connect told me. I was like, you know what? Word. Just like my connect was the one that told me to read The Pale White Horse, and I read that book, and that changed my whole perspective, my whole viewpoints of humanity. That got me to this position that I'm in right now, right? This came from the connect. This didn't come from school. This didn't come from college. This didn't come from none of that. This actually came from my connect. My plug spoke to me, right? And that's how you become very knowledgeable. See, wisdom and knowledge is not gonna come from sitting in a classroom for 8 hours thinking that because you have a title before your name, it justify you as Mr. Know-It-All. Nah, you'll be surprised that the most wisdom you will ever receive from individuals are the ones that don't carry a title with their name, right? I got so much wisdom from homeless people. I'm talking about homeless, not a pot to piss in, smelling like trash, whatever. And these brothers will pull you to the side, right? And give you wisdom. And you will be shocked. And a lot of these people that's homeless, especially when you get to know them, I'm talking about the sane ones, not the insane ones, not the ones that's under some type of, Luciferian influence. I'm talking about the sane ones. There's a lot of homeless people that says the reason why I choose to be homeless is because I'd rather be free than give up my liberty. You heard that? I was told that they said this is what was said to me. I'd rather be free than give up my liberty, right? When we had this conversation, I said, what you mean by that? He said, think about this, right? You got to work 8 hours a day, right? To make money, to keep something over your head, right? Then, now after you finish paying for what you have over your head, you then got to take something else to go pay for a mobile to drive, and you need a car so you can get from your house to your employer's location, no matter where it's at, right? And then, when do you ever have time for yourself? When do you ever have time for your family, those that you love? And he said to me, they're not gonna understand me, right? My children don't understand me. My children are saying, Dad, why don't you just come to work or come stay with me and then come live with me and we're gonna help you get a job, we're gonna help you get back on your feet. And he says, listen, and I kid you not, he said, I got my bachelor's, I got my master's, but having all that and achieving all that comes with a sacrifice. And that sacrifice is not something that I refuse to do. And I was like, what's that? He said, I refuse to sacrifice my freedom. I refuse to sacrifice my freedom for a totality, so-called liberty that none of us is able to have. He said, you see me? And these are the conversations that you will have with these sane homeless people if you take the time out to listen to them and talk to them, override the smell, override the look, just try to speak to the soul, speak to the person within. And when they see that you genuinely want to speak, they will bring forth this information, right? The individual said, listen, when I wake up, I'm able to go wherever I want. Yeah, I don't have a car, but I can maneuver with my feet. I can walk. God gave us 2 legs to walk to get from A to B. You may get there faster, you may get there sooner, but I'm still gonna get there. He said, even with a place to live. He said, I could ride the train station. If I need heat, I could take the train and ride it all the way from one end to the other end, get the best sleep. He then said, if I need to take a shower, if I need to groom myself, there's plenty of open bathrooms. I can go to the park. Park open bathrooms now are required to stay open all year round. So I can go to the park, turn on the water, wash my hands, wash my feet, summertime, do the same thing. How much is for a bar of soap? $1? He said we're missing the point we're viewing the fact that he's begging and he's asking for $1 as damn, so you out here begging, when in reality, we all out here begging, right? You're doing your work, you're doing extra work in hopes that you get paid. What happens if your job says, I can't give you no money? So you did all of that. The begging, that's still a job that he's doing. It takes a lot to put your pride aside, to put your dignity, your morals, and put that aside and have your hand out as a man and say, can you spare me some change? That's deep, that's real. And again, this is a brother that had a so-called bachelor's and a master's. I believe his name was Joseph, right? So I say all of these things to just let brothers and sisters know that if you don't want to go to college, nobody's here to force you. So nobody should be forced to go to school. But if you are going to college to make change in the world, whether it's politics, whether it's to be a teacher, a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, things that really need in-depth studies and understanding, then yes, college is for you. We need you, especially in the black and brown community. Everybody want to be a rapper now. Everybody want to be a rapper, just like now everybody want to do the podcast. We got rappers want to do podcasts. Like, that's not what everybody's designed to do. We need you guys to really, especially the up and coming youth, the young bucks, right? We need you guys to get your mind prepared to be that doctor, to be that lawyer, because you are very needed, right? When I went to college, my college was to be in human services, right? That was my degree, because as long as there's humans, individuals shall need my service. That's why I got the life coach on the go, right? These individuals is gonna need my aid. So my job as a life coach, as a man that's working in the social service field, is to provide aid for my brothers and sisters. So that's why I went to college for, right? I went to college just for that, right? I was supposed to go and get my bachelor's, then master's in psychology. I choose not to go that route because I know what school can do to the mind of somebody that's seeking freedom, right? School can alter your mind and make you believe that this American dream really do exist, that as long as you work hard and you chase it, you can achieve it. In reality, it's not. We all know in order to be successful in this land, you gotta terrorize a brother, man. Okay? You gotta capitalize off the ignorance, the foolishness, wickedness, okay? The depression. That's the only way your survival. This is the only way you're able to reach that pedestal, right? So that's the reason why I didn't choose to. That was not my calling. My calling was to do what I'm doing now, and that's to continue keeping my foot on you heathens, Hebrews, and the newly installed Hedonites next. But for the average person, for the young bucks, you don't have to be a basketball player. We have enough rappers. We have enough scammers. We need brothers and sisters in the medical field. We need more nurses. We need more doctors. We need more lawyers. We need more individuals that's gonna help us. We need brothers that understand management, right? We need people that got a doctorate or a master's or a bachelor's in the business aspect, know how to start a business to help teach brothers and sisters how to do these things, because we're living in the times where it's important for us to become entrepreneur Negroes. We're being replaced. We're being replaced right now as we speak. You understand? AI technology is coming for those petty jobs, right? It's coming from those office assistants. They're coming for those type of jobs. Those are not the things that we need. And not to mention the migrants that's coming into America. They coming for that. Our job as individuals is to get into the mind frame and the aspect of it's time for us to start our own business. So when the migrants come, we can have them working for us, right? This is the conversation that you need to have. College does not provide you with that. College is literally a blueprint to continue being a happy, peaceful, civilian, government, what they call that? Government assisted individual. That's what they want you to be. That's what college do. College makes you dependent on the system, dependent on the government, dependent on this false reality, dependent on this chasing of this American dream. This is what it do. This is a fact. This is not a lie, right? So we're not here for that. The objective is what? The objective is what? The objective is being entrepreneurs. So if, again, to ask me, is college overrated or underrated? It's very overrated. It's very not needed. It's not now. Maybe 30 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, but it's no longer needed now. Brothers and sisters can be successful without, you understand? Brothers and sisters can be successful without giving themselves up to a 4-year, 8-year commitment. And when you finish, you left with a debt that no job can afford, can pay you enough to live a peaceful, happy life, pay this debt, and still be a man and, have the tangibles of balling out. If that makes some sense. But I'm going to leave it as that. College is not important, guys. It wasn't important then. It's not important now. It's not going to be important tomorrow. Unless you're going to college to change the world. It's your brother, man, from the motherland. Came to you guys live. Once again, I ask you brothers to continue supporting. Share this. If it's your first time, tune in, man. Watch this. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. You feel me? We building up a nation. I'm also opening up my platform to anybody that got a story to tell. I'm talking about survival stories, brothers that came home from jail and want to give message to the youth, sisters that been molested and raped and in sex trafficking and got a story to tell. Brothers and sisters that, once upon a time was dealing with the same sex, but then, a revelation came in and they changed. These are the individuals. This is what I want. I want brothers and sisters to come on. And even if you want to talk about your business and help brothers and sisters start a business and help yourself get your business out there, the platform is for that. You feel me? So continue tuning in, support, right? It's your brother man from the motherland. And for those that don't know who I am him, the NBIC, Mr. Keep My Foot on You Heathens, You He-Goes, and the newly installed Heathenites next. Are you dumb or are you dumb? Father, say it one time for the one time. And I'ma holler at y'all.